अरे सनी तो ऐसे क्यों बैठा है, पीछे क्यों मुड़ा है? इधर देख के बात करना।
क्या?
अरे इधर
पीछे
देख
मुड़
के
के
बात
बात
करना।
करो।
आई एम लुकिंग एट यू।
How? You're looking at the
क्या
window,
सिर के
dude.
पीछे भी आंखें है क्या? ओ fuck!
Welcome back to SYWK podcast where no topic is off limits. Before I start, I would like to thank everyone out there for showing so much of love and supporting my channel. It's been a year and today is the 50th episode. Can you believe it? And this would have not been possible without you guys. So happy first anniversary to the SYWK family and please continue showing your love and support. So to celebrate the first anniversary and the 50th episode, I have got you your favorite guest and they are none other than Sachit and Priyanka, who were on my first episode as well, and we spoke about ghost stories. If you haven't heard it yet, please do, the link is in the description. So coming back for today's episode, we will be sharing some more scary and horrifying ghost stories, but with a taste of humor. You will surely die laughing plus get scared at the same time. And also there is something important which I would like to tell you is that at the end of this episode, I shared a few ghost images which I had captured a couple of years before but never shared it with anyone. This will be the first time you all will be witnessing a ghost caught on camera. So if you enjoy our conversation, please continue your support by liking, sharing and subscribing. So now, without wasting any time, let's get started. So guys, welcome to the 50th episode of SYWK podcast. And with me today is the none other than Sachit. What is your second name, by the way?
Sush boy.
Sash boy, Chota Danny, give it up to Sachit.
जो कभी सच नहीं बोलता।
अबे साले.
साले।
And my second guest, who flies for Emirates, but she says she's flying for Qatar. Her name is Priyanka, and so called Pri. Welcome. Welcome back. Really excited to have you both once again. I still remember the first episode which we did, which was last year in the month of June, and this year we are completing 50th episode. So thank you so much.
Woohoo! Congratulations!
Yes. And we are back.
Great
again.
job.
And we are back again with ghost stories. And to tell you a fact, my podcast format is no topic is off limits, and I try to cover all kind of topics. But majority of the people enjoy ghost stories and the stories from you guys, the first two episodes. So I hope this episode is also going to be amazing and scary.
Amazing! It is gonna be
Spooky.
amazing.
Yes. So this time I am going to start with a story. So now you guys need to decide if it is true or it is not true. That I will leave it on you.
Oh.
Okay then.
It's true or not true?
Yes, it all depends on you who's listening, and it all depends on my guest as well. So this is an article which I have read somewhere. Okay. No one can see it, but only I can see it right now. So I'll be reading it right now. So here I go. When I was around 9 years old, my father forced me to go with him to the funeral of a friend of his that I did not know. When we got there, I stayed in a corner waiting for the time to go. Then a man approached me and said, "Enjoy life, boy. Be happy, because time flies." Look at me now. I did not enjoy it. He passed his hand over my head and left. My father, before leaving, forced me to say goodbye to the dead person. When I looked in the coffin, I was startled that the man who was talking to me when I was in the corner was the same man in the coffin.
Oh, fuck.
For several years later, I was not able to sleep. I was getting nightmares, psychological disorders. And My childhood was ruined. Years later, I discovered something incredible that changed my life forever. That dead idiot had a twin brother.
No shit,
Sunny
dude.
was so into it.
I was.
That
I
was a
so
good
was.
one. Even I was like, wow.
I was like,
Okay.
actually, even my story revolves on the same lines, though.
I
Might
think
tell
so.
you
Sunny
later.
is just frozen. Okay, he's back. Yes, he's back. So how was the story,
Yeah.
guys? Did you all get scared?
It was good. It was quite intriguing at
It
the
was good.
beginning.
It was
So I
good.
was like listening quite keenly, and then I was like, oh, damn, twin brother.
So without wasting any time, let's go to the next story. Who is going to tell us the next story?
Okay, I will start.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So this is again a true story. #cabin crew life on board.
Right.
So this happened to a friend that I know. We stay in the same building. So they are flatmates. One is Indian, one is Romanian. Okay, so they both are staying together. So this Indian chick, she's been suffering from insomnia for the last 1 year, and she's not able to sleep in her house. So the only time she can actually sleep is when she's on layovers. And then she told her mom, like, she feels that, something is there in her house, something weird. So mom said, she's Hindu. She's like, Pat puja karo beta. And then she prays in her bedroom, and she has this agarbatti, incense and everything. Now her flatmate, Romanian, a little background about her. She's an Orthodox Christian, and her priest back in her town, she's quite close with, and he performs exorcism. And she used to assist him before she came to be a cabin crew. So now what happened is, on flight, this Romanian chick and the other crew, she's from the north of Africa. I will not mention which nationality. So they got into a conflict on board. So they were fighting, and
Priyanka.
it just got ugly. And then that girl, yeah.
Priyanka, tell fast na. The train to Panvel
Yes.
is just arrived. I have to go to Panvel.
आप कतार में हो.
150
You
रुपया
don't
देगा.
get it?
जल्दी बोलो.
Exactly. So then what happened is, this chick, because the conflict got so bad, she said, you just go home and wait and watch. And she's like, what are you going to do about it? She's like, you just go home and wait and watch. And then she came back home, and she's like, okay, nothing. But they always had like this heavy feeling in the house, like, a presence is felt, but they don't know exactly what it was. Now what the Indian chick was experiencing, she had told her flatmate, but something was there. And after that flight, when she returned back to Doha, she started to have a backache. And she was quite religious. She used to pray, and she used to have all these saint statues and everything. But because of the back pain, she couldn't actually, pray regularly as much as she used to. When she went back to Romania on her holidays, and she went to visit the priest. And that's when he told her, have you been experiencing a back pain for the last 1 year? And she's like, yeah, but how do you know? He's like, I know that you had a fight with a girl on your flight previously, and she's done something to you. And she's like, yeah, like, how do you know? And he's like, you know what? There is a spirit latched onto her on her shoulder, which has been hanging onto her. And this spirit is like a wig, but red in color. And it is latched onto her. And he said that spirit came out of the Indian flatmate's bedroom.
Sure.
So that spirit was haunting the house and the Indian girl. But because of the prayers and agarbatti and whatever she was doing, it was not able to like physically harm her. But whatever that other crew had done on flight, that spirit actually came out and it lashed onto this Romanian crew. And then
And that guy could see the spirit
he could
while
see
she
the
was
spirit.
coming.
So
Yes,
she was walking.
he could see the red.
She was walking like this, or what? Like little bit. Her back was bent or
A
something.
little bit. No, she just was walking normally, but she just had a terrible back pain. And she went to the doctor. She was doing physiotherapy. She was doing swimming, but it really didn't help. And this was the real reason. It's because that entity was latched on, and he said it is a red color entity that was on her. And then he did prayers and exorcism, and he got rid of it.
Scary,
Shit.
scary.
True story.
I know similar case. Anyone watches Tarak Mehta Ka Ulta Chashma?
There he goes.
In that Baga is a Baga. He bends like that.
Baga is like this.
Baga.
Baga is like this. Somebody's there on the chest, not on
Oh,
the back.
छाती पे बैठा हुआ.
But quite
No,
scary,
no.
huh? This is, I think so.
Yeah.
There is a movie also on this. Like there is a Hollywood movie. It's quite old. I don't remember.
No, not Hollywood. It was actually a Japanese movie which was redone.
Yeah.
Wherein the Japanese, what is the name of the movie? I don't remember.
I don't. I had seen this movie
It's
when I
with
was
the
small.
photographs.
When I was small,
No.
At the end,
I will put it in the comment later.
Yeah.
I'll put it
And
in the
whoever
comments later.
who's
Yeah.
listening and watching, if they know the movie what we are talking about, please comment.
Please
below.
comment about.
So
Yes, please.
we can watch it again.
So yeah.
Oh. Quite scary, yeah. That was interesting.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
actually creepy. Yeah.
And the thing is, we stay in the same building. Can you imagine that?
But
But
So you're not
Shit,
having
yeah.
you're not having any back problem and all, right?
Thank
no,
God.
Pri had back problems.
No, I don't have back problem, Harami.
I
I
heard.
think you have chest problem. कोई तो तेरे छाती पे बैठा है, Sunny.
No,
Remember the
I.
last
Hut,
the
hut,
hot story?
Go now.
Oh God! In fact, I was reading somewhere. It's a very short jinn story. Newly married couple, they shifted to a new place. In fact, a new country. Basically, they were staying in India and they shifted somewhere to this Bangkok, that side. And
Okay.
they were a very happy couple. And then suddenly they, started fighting and. It became worse. They were staying together, but it had become very worse. They used to not talk to each other at the end of the day, and they used to fight and they were Muslims basically. So one day, one of some uncle or aunties, because some relatives so will be there only in that country, so they came, and that uncle was what they say, Maulana. He was that kind of that.
Mhm.
Yeah, the priest.
Like the priest. He was not an actual priest, but he had studied a lot, like Quran, and he used to read everything and this and that. So he told that female, and he didn't. That female didn't even tell this guy that we have problems and all. The first time he came to meet them, he told that there are two jinns in your house, and both are female jinns,
Wow.
and they both like your husband, and they're trying to keep him
Oh.
away from you. So
Wow.
that when I
It
read,
happens, dude.
that when I read, I got scared. Dude. Two jinns. How lucky he will be. Two.
You want one?
Should do.
No.
We can send one your way.
No, I consume the other jinn, but I don't want that kind of shit.
Crazy, yeah. No, but then this jinn thing really happens, right? According
Yes, it's
to
true.
the Muslims, they say that every household has at least one jinn because they live in a parallel world, and so they give you references for you to notice, saying that no matter how much ever you cook food, at the end, even if you scrape the vessels, there will always be at least one bite left. They say that automatically goes to them. It's for them.
Yeah.
So that thing is like real.
And you have to
Oh,
keep
okay.
also little. Actually, when you cook also, thoda you have to like.
Extra
Yeah.
extra
you have
बनाते
to
हैं.
keep it little bit. Quite
Right.
interesting. In fact, in couple of weeks, I was thinking to do another episode where I talk about the types of jinns. So hopefully, once that episode is
Types
ready,
of jinns. That's going to be interesting.
all kinds
That
and
would
types
be a
of
nice
jinns.
topic.
Yeah, I'll be doing that.
So how many do you have? You can start off with Dajjal.
Dajjal. Then there is this movie called as Pari. They talk
Pari?
about
Ah.
yeah.
Anushka Sharma, no?
They talk about one kind of jinn. Ifrat, yeah. So there are like, I think so there are 7 to 12 kinds of jinn.
So I know Dajjal, I know Khabeez, Asrat, Ifrat,
and Ghoul.
Yeah. Ghoul.
Yeah.
फिर यासिर भाई, सलमान, शाहरुख, रहमान भाई, अपने बशीर भाई,
Aslam भाई.
Aslam भाई.
And the biggest and scariest jinn, Chota Danny. No, sorry, Butler Danny.
Butler Danny. Back to
Butler Danny.
episode 1.
Yeah. So now let's go to the next story, which is narrated by Sachit.
Yeah.
Come, Sanjay.
The story revolves around 2 girls. One is Aisha and one is Naisha. So even though they're not sisters, but then they have rhyming names, unfortunately. And they were staying in the hostel, studying in the same university. But then the hostel was approximately around 15 minutes away from the university. And it was much cheaper. So they put up over there. And Aisha was the one who was a little hypersensitive. She was, how can I say, she was an overthinker, a hypersensitive, kind of an agnostic who wants to know everything before they can believe onto something. And one fine night, Aisha was sleeping. It was late in the night, approximately around 12:45. And Naisha knocks at the door. And Aisha gets up from her sleep and she just says, "Who is it?" And Naisha says, "It's me, open the door, quick." And she's banging constantly on the door. So when Aisha opens the door, she sees Naisha with red eyes and a surprise on her face. And she
Surprised look?
runs back.
Or surprise?
Yeah, a surprised look.
Ah, okay.
She looks surprised with red eyes. Yeah, just this one, like this.
Okay.
And as soon as she sees Aisha, she runs back towards the main gate of the hostel, comes in front of a car and dies.
Hey?
On the spot.
On the spot.
Salman was driving that car, or? He froze only.
Your joke was so bad, he fucking left the building. He froze. Salman was driving, yeah.
So कहाँ पे अटका वो? ये बता.
That Salman was driving the car.
It's joke.
Salman was driving the car and he killed.
अच्छा, it got stuck
That
over
she
there.
met with she met with an accident and she died.
Right. So now let's get to know about what happened with Naisha that time.
Who? Sorry.
Naisha was.
Sorry. Who died? Aisha or Naisha?
You need to rewind more.
Naisha.
Okay.
And
Naisha passed away. Naisha got hit by a car. Now, let's hear Naisha's side of the story, that what exactly happened. Why was Naisha like this? So it seemed that Naisha had to go to a party and she was left at the hostel main gate by her friends at approximately around 11:30.
Okay.
But also remember that Naisha had knocked at the door and that time it was approximately around 12:45ish. So where was she all these while?
Yeah.
Yeah, where was she?
So the CCTV footage captured that when her friends left her at the main gate, Aisha was standing there too.
Aisha
told her.
Aisha
the one who was in the room.
Okay.
The one who was in the room.
Yeah.
And in a very spooky voice, Aisha said, "Come, let me take you."
My God.
And they started going up. So they crossed the first floor, they crossed the second floor, and that's where the room was.
Second floor.
Yeah, but instead of going on the second floor, they went to the third floor, and the third floor was actually restricted because there was some construction work going on, and it might be quite a possibility that somebody might get hurt or slip because of nails or pebbles or something, cement and all. And so the audio and the video was getting captured, and when they went up, it was very clearly heard as though somebody was talking in the mic of the CCTV camera. The conversation was so clear that Aisha very spookingly saying, "Come, let me show you something. Come, let me show you something."
Same thing. Okay.
Yeah. "Come, let me show you something." And these were the constant words. And Naisha was constantly saying that, what do you want to show me? What do you want to show me? And she again repeated, come, let me show you something. Come, let me show you something. And she took her till the edge of the hostel, and it didn't have a fence. And she said, jump.
Oh my God.
And Naisha looked at her and was like, what are you doing? What are you saying? And she's like, jump, nothing's gonna happen. Jump. 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 And the way she looked at Naisha, she was completely horrified. She thought that Aisha was on drugs, or she's not in a state of mind or something like that. And as soon as she turned to go back, Aisha caught Naisha's hand and said, you have to come with me. I said, I'm not going to come. And she took her hand and Aisha jumped off. But fortunately,
dragging her with her.
Yeah, but fortunately, Naisha caught hold of a pillar and she saved herself. And that's why she came running down. Her eyes were bloodshot red. She didn't know what was happening. And when she knocked at the door and she heard Aisha's voice saying, who's there? She actually wanted to see who's there. And when she opened, she couldn't believe that Aisha was actually
in the
not
house.
Aisha ever.
What? Wait. Aisha was not Aisha? Who was
Aisha
in the
was
house?
never Aisha.
Who was she then?
That one who jumped was actually in the same state, like broken and all, bleeding, in the same state when she opened the door. That's the reason why she was shocked and she ran off and hit herself with a car. So what this hostel's history dictates is that there was actually a girl named Aisha who was possessed in such a way wherein she used to take other hostel children and she used to tell them to jump. So it was kind of a spell which was casted over these children, and many children jumped out that
Look at Desmond, dude. Stupid his effects.
Yeah, so many children jumped off that hostel building only because of Aisha.
So this whole time, Aisha was actually a spirit, and this Naisha was staying with her?
Yes.
My God.
And she had no idea?
Never.
And what about the neighbors? Or
she must have felt
girls?
like it's just a normal person, like just a normal human being who's just talking.
Just a normal person.
Yeah, like just a normal friend.
But then the neighbors will know now. She's staying alone, or she would have mentioned it.
No. Everybody could see her as well.
Everybody could see her.
Puts us to the previous question. This puts us to the previous question. Was she a jinn?
Oh.
Because it depends upon them whom they want to appear in front of.
Yeah.
And she was very human.
A witch? A
jinn? Jinn,
what was
witch.
she?
Not exactly a witch, I would say. But something very powerful who could take forms or something and be like humans and stuff and all. Yeah, shifter maybe.
Shit. Scary, man, that is.
But others could also see.
Yeah. And or I guess she striked when it was that person's time. So it was Naisha's time this time. And she striked.
Maybe some people could see, some people could not. Maybe. I'm just assuming that. Scary, man. This is scary.
That's how it is. Yeah.
So, since you were talking about CCTV and ghost, caught on camera, I have something which is quite interesting, which I would like to share. In fact, it's the first time I'm going to share this with anyone. So I'll give you a backstory.
Okay.
So when I used to come for holidays to Oman when I was in school, a lot of time my family, they used to have this outing where they used to go for camping, fishing, and they used to go to far off places. So Oman has a country, if you go into the interiors, it's like, very quiet and there is no one around. Not a lot of buildings and houses as well. Less of civilization. So I don't know if you remember, Priyanka, when you had come to Oman, we had taken you to one beach. I think so. It's called Pebble Beach. I don't remember. Actually, there's no name for the beach because it's not like a beach. It's like a shore. It's far from Muscat city. And there is no particular name for the beach. So back then I had a digital camera. I used to get this Sony ka camera back then, like this click and
Cybershot.
Small one.
Yeah.
The normal.
Yeah, normal camera. So I was, you can say, around 18, 19, and everyone was fishing and everyone was talking and this and that and all, and I was getting bored. like always. So then what I did is, it was dark, okay, it was completely dark, and they just had dim lights for fishing, or they just had the car lights and all. So what I did is, I took my phone this torchlight, and then I started searching for sticks and woods and all to have a bonfire. Then after that, I was having a bonfire, and I was just sitting and chilling and all, and then I had that camera, and I got that camera from India. I thought, I'll click photos and blah blah blah. So I will share the screen. I will show you the photo which I captured.
Oh, this is interesting.
Wait, let me share the photo at least. So now, before going ahead with this, whoever is listening to this podcast on any of the audio platforms, join us on YouTube, because this is a picture which I have captured of a ghost. So you will need to see the picture.
I'm trying to spot the ghost in your picture.
Spot the ghost?
I
think I see something.
Yeah,
I think
even
I
I see
spotted
something.
it. I found it.
Okay,
Really?
what is that?
I found
Let me take a guess. So the top left, the top right flame.
Right hand side, yes. It's a mask. It's a face with a
It's
pointy nose.
Yeah, now you can see
it
the
looks like a mask.
That's the one.
You can see the circle, right? So that
Yes, I can see it.
that is the
I can see the eyes, a pokey nose, and like a mouth.
this
It's
is
very prominent.
Yeah.
And it has like a small horn on the
So
left
let
hand
me
side.
zoom in. Yeah, see?
Like a spike.
Can you see this?
Yeah, scroll down. Yeah,
Yeah. So
can.
But Priyanka,
You can see a
Just
small
try to-
tail also.
can see
Look
this
at
here?
that.
This tail.
It has like the tail. It's like the devil's tail that they
And this
usually
is
we
the
draw in
mask.
cartoons.
right.
So now
Right.
this is the first image which I showed you. Okay. Now this is the next image.
Shit, yeah.
I will leave it up to you guys to find out where it is.
Now
yeah,
it's
I
in the
see it.
bottom right. It looks like a skull
Okay.
now.
Right. More like
Correct?
a witch
Can you?
doctor skull.
Yeah. Can you see this? Okay. Now
Yeah,
this
that's
part.
the one.
This part is squid. Okay. Basically, they were using this
It's
as
the
a
wood.
this wood, and on top of that is a squid. Basically, they were using this for a bait for fishing. So I was uske upar. So this part ignore. Uske niche you can see this skull type of thing.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see.
Yeah. So this is the eye. Okay.
See
And then
this?
this is like a thing. Okay. So this is one photo. And the next photo, what you guys are going to see is something which will scare you. Please be careful. Can you guys see this photo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it an eye? I can spot an eye,
I
like
can-
a very
yeah.
prominent
Even I
eye.
can.
See now this.
And
is-
if
in
you
the
see the
bottom.
bigger picture, it looks like a wolf.
if you see
Yeah,
this
it
is
looks
an
like an
eye.
animal.
towards you.
This is an eye. It's like an half
Yeah.
face.
Yeah, that's the one.
If you see, this is like an half
Yes.
face here.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
can see it. It's a very prominent eye.
This is like an eye, and the other thing is this thing. Now I don't know what is this thing. If you can see
That looks
this,
like a rubber duck.
this thing. I don't know
Yeah.
what is this. So
Keep this image.
Yeah. So this was the image, which I had kept it. I didn't want it to share this with anyone because obviously they will say this is fake and blah blah blah. But I can guarantee you that this is an original picture clicked by me, and it is 100% true that I have captured ghost. Because a lot of time people say, that ghost is there, but why no one has captured it? But this is the answer now. I don't know, maybe we are just assuming it, but I feel that I have captured some ghostly figures at least, because it was quite
Yes, you
scary.
have.
Right. And it's very prominent. Even if we have to say that, you just got lucky with the click, but then
Yeah.
multiple times when you're seeing something spooky,
It's different.
Yeah.
it's different. Yeah.
So who's going with the next story now?
I'm the one with
Yeah.
the last story. So, as I had informed you guys previously, a friend of mine, she can sense spirits around her. Her name is Daisy. And on one of her layovers, to Johannesburg when she had gone, she could sense something. That hotel is such that you need to pass through the swimming pool area, which has a lot of trees and bushes around it, and it's pretty dark.
Okay.
So when she crossed that, she felt something weird and she came rushing to her room, and then she told her boyfriend Samwin that she felt something that was there and all, and he's like, nothing. And he's like Desmond, whenever he gets scared, he makes all these stupid ridiculous jokes, and he's like, he doesn't believe in it, it doesn't happen and all. So when she was just changing, and she was in the bathroom, she had gone to wash her face, and then Samwin was on call with her, video call, and he's like, Daisy, don't freak out. And she's like, just shut up, Samwin. She's like, no, really, just don't freak out, but I think I can see someone behind you. And now she's standing in front of the mirror and the basin, and she's kept her phone on the side over there near the basin, and she's washing her face, and she's like, just stop it, Samwin, just stop it. And he's like, no, I'm not kidding, I can really see something behind you. And now she's looking up in the mirror, and there's nothing there. It's just the bathtub and the curtain. And he's like, Daisy, you need to get out because I can see something red behind you.
Oh shit.
And she's like, red.
Lal color.
And she's like, lal color.
Oh my god.
And she's like, just stop it, okay? It's not funny. And he's like, no, really, turn behind and see. I can see it clearly.
And this guy used to prank her like that or what?
No, not prank, but he doesn't believe in it like 100%, that she can actually sense something. And that's why, like Desmond, he'll always make jokes about it. He's like, ha ha ha, it's not there. Ha ha ha, I didn't hear anything. Or, he just tried to ignore it. I'm distracted with all the filters that Desmond is making.
In movies, these are the guys who die first.
Yeah. And if at all something really happens, I would want the ghost to haunt Samwin first and then Daisy. But by the time she'll get enough time to escape, so by that Samwin will still be under attack. So anyway,
you tell. He saw something red.
Yeah.
So he's saying there is something red behind you. He's like, turn and look, and she's like, I'm looking in the mirror, there's nothing there. And then he's like, no, I swear, just turn. And she turned, nothing is there. And then later, she realized it was the toothpaste in the glass. Uska reflection tha. She's using Colgate toothbrush. So it was the toothbrush ka reflection. Hey, lal hai. Go see. Okay. So it was not a ghost. But he scared her to death. Idiot.
Obviously, yeah.
Samwin, you're watching this. So that's a funny ghost story for you.
Viewers who are watching this, you have no idea how much it took for us to record this, only for you guys to see it.
Yes.
Indeed.
Please don't forget
to like
was real. And share this episode.
Share.
Please.
And subscribe.
Yes, please.
Yes. So, do we have any more stories before the internet starts acting funny again?
No. Until next time, you guys have to come back for more ghost stories. Minus Desmond's silly jokes.
Yes.
More serious content.
But before we end, I'd just like to say thank you once again for supporting me from the first episode, and today I have completed the 50th episode. So thank you.
Woohoo! What a milestone!
Thank you so
Congratulations!
Much. Yes. Inshallah.
Many more to go. Many more to go.
Many more to go. Yeah. We believe in you.
Inshallah, once we complete 100 episodes, we will do another round, and that time it will be more scarier. This episode was more funnier.
Indeed. Desmond, you need to know, all my friends, they love to hear about ghost stories, and they're enjoying your episodes when you're featuring ghost stories and all the authors with the books that they're doing. I'm so distracted with his filters, dude.
Well, thank you guys for listening till the end. Let me know how you enjoyed this episode. Please comment below and give me your feedback. Thanks once again, and see you next week.